What's up everybody, Steven Z Killer here. It's time for a new reaction video. But before that, 75% of you guys watching are not subscribed. Now recently, I was able to obtain the silver play button because we hit 100,000 subscribers. Now I'm pushing myself forward even further. We're going for 300,000 subscribers. We can't hit this goal if you're not part of this community, so hit that subscribe button and notification bell. Join the Discord so you don't miss out on any of my videos when I go live on Twitch, live on YouTube, or I upload a video. Links in the description. Don't forget, I do want to upgrade from silver to gold at one point. So help me out today and hit that subscribe button. Now, let's get into the video. What's up everybody, Steven Z Killer here. Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. We all enjoyed the game when it came out, but it did have a lot of problems. And not to mention, a lot of people do agree that it was definitely a game that felt incomplete. Lots of things didn't seem to wrap up as good or as hopefully people wanted. And I even have to say, going through my playthrough and having the fun I did have with it, it was a good game, but it definitely didn't feel to the extent and the ability that it could have been for the FNAF community, especially with Vanny and Vanessa. I think that was probably, even though they were promoted and a huge part of the game, in a sense, I still feel to this day they were underutilized. And the third act is what we're going into today. Now, this video we're checking out is Security Breach's Lost Third Act. And I'm curious on seeing what they're talking about in this video that was recommended to me. And I'm checking this out because around the corner is the Security Breach DLC Ruin. So if you guys aren't aware, the DLC is around the corner, literally less than 2 months now, and I will be streaming it here on YouTube. And hopefully the DLC, even though it took well over a year and a half, will be worth the wait and not as much of a disappointment. The original game of Security Breach was, for what it was, it was lacking a lot. There was still some good creep and scares and things here and there. Story-wise, underwhelming. Lore, decent, but missing pieces. Like I said, Vanny and Vanessa, even though they were highly promoted for this game and everything as going to be a big thing, severely underutilized in the game. Now, things can change. Who knows? I'm looking forward to the Ruin DLC. My hopes are not high, but I want to be pleasantly surprised with the DLC. Anyways, let's get into this video. This video came out not that long ago, roughly a month ago, by a channel I've never watched before. Show your support by subscribing and liking the original video. Do all that good stuff. And let's see what they have to talk about. Apparently, Shattered Freddy might have been able to fix this game. It was a concept, and apparently it's something in the files and a bunch of other things that could have helped the third act in Security Breach, which, to be honest, yeah, the third act wasn't the best, but it still was a thing. And let's just check this out and enjoy this video. And I will say, right now, if this makes me feel like this could have been one of the key reasons this game could have been way better, then I will admit to it. And let me know down below how you guys feel about this and this concept or idea. Alright, turn off the background music and getting into the video.
There's been quite a bit of discourse and discussion over what the story of Security Breach was supposed to be before most of its unfinished remains were carved out, leaving a gaping hole in the second and third act. This has led into speculation of Ruin bringing back some of these features and effectively solving the story that Security Breach sought to tell, revealing the big aha. And
automatically, the moment the DLC drops, I know for a fact everybody's going to be posting videos on it. I'm going to be posting videos on it. I'm going to be streaming it, and I'm going to be trying to I'm going to try to see what I can figure out too, and also we'll be checking out, of course, game theory, and all the other stuff that are going to try to dissect the DLC and everything.
That makes the story complete. But we are never truly going to get the real story of Security Breach without one of the major plot points that was scrapped in the final hour. Something that would have changed not only the feel of the game entirely, but would have likely changed audiences' opinions of the characters after the fact, and would have fleshed Security Breach out into one of the most emotionally charged and terrifying FNAF games. And that is the shattering of Glamrock Freddy. For a
That design has always been cool. And, you know, that would have been a really cool concept throughout the game. You had him on your side, but nearing the end, you lost him in a sense on your side.
Backstory, as you probably know, Glamrock Freddy is a major character in Security Breach. The companion of the playable character, Gregory, Freddy is the only friendly animatronic who's out to help him and isn't out of their right mind or completely apathetic to his plight. Over the course of Security Breach, Freddy's bandmates are decommissioned or shattered, and they become their shattered variants. However, Freddy too was supposed to share this fate. Now, before you think this is just an idea or an assumption of some kind, Shattered Freddy was a very real thing. We not only have his name in files and his visage repurposed for other uses, but we have a slew of voice lines that lay out the events of his shattering and his preceding hunt for Gregory. Let's start with that audio, because that audio is the skeleton that holds everything together. Now, I've played this audio before in a past video, so you might be familiar with it. I bet you're wondering how Freddy gets shattered.
See, this is what I like about these videos. People go out of the way to find things that are hidden within the files and the code of video games and be able to bring... Because I think this has been talked about in one of the other videos I've watched, but I don't think I've ever actually heard or seen any of this stuff.
Thinking that Gregory betrays Freddy or something of the like, or that there's an accident or a burn trap possession situation. But no.
That's, I think, that right there.
Scenario quite well.
That right there, the burn trap scenario, I think there was a video a long time ago I reacted to that involved that scenario.
Gregory and Freddy are somewhere when Shattered, Chica, Monty, and Roxanne show up. Freddy tells Gregory to run as this exchange occurs.
Gregory, run! Do not look back. Do not watch. Chica, Roxy, Monty, do not listen. Resist her. Please. You do not want to do this. No. Stop. No. Please.
We then get to Freddy's anguish.
What? Wait. What?
You do not want to do this. No. Stop. No. Please.
We then get to Freddy's anguish.
I don't think I've ever heard that. That's crazy awesome.
Screams. Notably, they sound nothing like his daycare attendant sounding scream in the final game. For a note, here's the scream in the final game. There is an audio line of Gregory crying in the final game.
Yeah, that's actually Freddy's voice.
For a note, here's the scream in the final game.
So wait, when Freddy gets torn apart, they have a scream, and this is the scream, but it sounds like the daycare. I didn't even notice that before, if that's the case. Alrighty then. Ooh, I wonder if that was repurposed, because what if there was a situation where you would just be because honestly, we didn't really do anything to the daycare person, and there's a shatter form in the DLC, technically. That would kind of make sense of what, because honestly, the daycare animatronic honestly shouldn't be that much destroyed, and he is in the DLCs. He's got a completely redesigned and fucked up look.
There is an audio line of Gregory crying for a long period of time. There's been some speculation that that line was supposed to be when Freddy was taken by Moon, but I think it's abundantly clear that it was likely taken from this encounter where Freddy is utterly massacred.
Leave him alone!
that definitely makes more sense for the end game stuff, like with that scene.
But what happens after this point? Well, we have a clue with Shattered Freddy's continued voice lines.
Superstar, where are you? Where are you going? Come back. I thought we were friends.
Yo, they should have had this. This would have. Oh my god, they really should have had this. Why the fuck did they ruin such a good opportunity for the game?
Why do you hide? Gregory.
Now there is a moment in the DLC trailer where you can see Freddy is under rubble and getting up, and his body has been fucked up, and he could definitely be a shattered form in the DLC.
Yeah, so Shattered Freddy becomes corrupted and begins to hunt Gregory as well. And
What if that stuff comes back in the DLC? That'd be amazing.
Freddy is a formidable foe, especially since this is after he has all of his upgrades, as shown in his model. Gregory unintentionally built the perfect predator by using those parts. And in his
Oh,
broken body,
shit.
Freddy fits the bill perfectly.
Oh
How the
my
ending would
god,
have
'cause he
been
can see
unclear,
through walls,
though
he can
personally, I wonder
break
if the
through
Vanny boss
anything.
battle, you know, the one where you run through 2 hallways and confront Vanny, would have involved being hunted by Freddy through Phaser Blast. That would have been utterly diabolical, and would have actually made sense for why, for some reason, Vanny's boss fight is stationed in Phaser Blast. In fact, the whole fight her, resist her, don't listen to what she's telling you to do thing would have fit seamlessly in the Freddy gets disassembled by Vanny scene. Down to the point where Shattered Freddy is the design used for Freddy after the staff bots get him, even though the staff bots are shown pulling him apart. Speaking of
You know, that is completely true. Damn. They fucking...
which, let's go over Shattered Freddy's design. It is featured in 2 places, as I said, the disassembled ending, and in a banner for a Halloween sale. I can understand why it was reused for the ending, but I find it peculiar that they just, I don't know, put it up on a Halloween banner. Oh well. Freddy's hands have been damaged, revealing sharp claws underneath. His face has been disfigured, revealing a garish bear-like maw. His legs look like Monty's, considering that Monty's broken legs were classified as Shattered Freddy's legs. And his chest is torn apart, leaving his stomach hatch, the safety spot Gregory could always rely on, unusable. Every shattered Glamrock has a relation between their fatal flaw, their injury, and their shattered form. Chica cannot control her appetite. Her upgrade is in her mouth, and her shattered form steals both that and her favored vice. Roxanne is fixated on her appearance, on her ego, self-consciously staring into a mirror and talking to herself. Her face is ruined, and now she has lost her greatest treasure, her looks, and her one assurance. As we went over in the Monty video, Monty's
I didn't even think about that.
his legs. So going on with that, Monty is powerful with legs that he can jump and pounce with, to possibly kick through fences and destroy rooms with, and his anger is unmatched. But it consumes him, and now he doesn't have a leg to stand on. He's helpless. Freddy's fatal flaw is in his good nature, his willingness to protect and take care of someone who Vanny has chosen to die to fulfill Afton's eternal bloodlust, to the point where Freddy is willing to go against his band. While he seems shocked at receiving their upgrades, Freddy does go so far as to steer Gregory to find a way to stop Roxy. The child came first. His promise to protect him came first. And that's admirable. It was his heart, and his bandmates were sure to tear that to pieces. And with that gone, Vanny finally bypasses safe mode and takes control of Freddy, all while perhaps traumatizing Gregory in the process. As after
This honestly would have made the game 1,000 times better. Holy crap.
Intended to do with his victims. And playing in the shoes of Gregory, watching the sweet and cute and a little ditzy Freddy dissolve into a monster like his bandmates would be downright nightmarish. You can hear it in his slow, slurred words, calling out for Gregory, calling out for his superstar. Freddy is no longer in control. Is he just confused, or is he not there at all, just luring Gregory in with friendship and safety, like Chica was offering up candy. Indeed, Shattered Freddy would have changed Five Nights at Freddy's forever. This would have set a new standard.
I think it would have been, like I said, 1,000 times better with that. Hey, thank you for subscribing. Subscribing, you may get a little shout out. But, yeah, I honestly think this would have been a way better ending.
Because as much as I love Glamrock
And a way better third act, final act for Security Breach.
Freddy, this story element is fantastic.
Also, here's another thing. You still had things like the camera and the laser gun to affect the other animatronics. And at some point in the game, to me, it felt like as soon as you got the camera to flash and the laser gun to shoot, to be 100%, Roxanne, Monty, and Chica were less a threat once you had that. I think Freddy, with all the upgrades, like, he was still affected by it, but once he got all the upgrades, imagine if they didn't have as much of an effect on him, and then he was the thing chasing you, and the things you would rely on to protect you from the other animatronics no longer was a safety net, and Freddy was chasing you and tearing through the pizzeria trying to hunt you down. That would have been amazing, because once you got the laser gun and the camera and also the safetiness of Freddy himself, it was pretty lackluster and less frightening. Let's just say that.
Plus, I think it would have given Glamrock Freddy a shot at being even more of a popular character. People would have eaten this up with a spoon. I Can Fix Him would have surged in full. And you know what? If this happened, then I would have been behind Gregory maybe becoming a villain. Because now it's not, oh, Afton possession, or just having Gregory be Afton with another name, of the Undertale effect of blame the child, the quirky characters are always right. It's because Gregory suddenly has a motive. The only person who has ever been good to Gregory is now gone. And likely Fazbear Entertainment is just going to replace him with a copy who is not him, and who doesn't even know the previous Freddy existed. And Vanessa's just going to get away with it, and Afton's going to be back again sometime. So Gregory at this point deciding, screw it, I'm gunning for everybody, and I don't care who gets caught in the crossfire, makes sense. It would align with the one you shouldn't have killed's motive as like a parallel or a callback. Alas, that potential is pretty much gone, because I don't see a way that you could bring back Shattered Freddy now. I mean, you could, but I don't see it being possible in this specific context. Like, if he reappears in Ruin, I doubt they'll have a scene of his bandmates tearing...
This was uploaded way before the trailer for the Ruin DLC, and Freddy is in the trailer.
...him apart, especially considering that they censored mentioning blood in the final Security Breach cut. My point is that we're past this point in the story. It would be weird to suddenly take a step back. Even though Security Breach's true ending leaves a lot to be desired. I don't think...
It honestly fucking sucks compared to this. This is this idea that is combining a bunch of aspects. I feel like this is such a better ending.
I've really discussed this at length, but Security Breach's true final ending is kind of a fumble. I mean, I've been critical of Burn Trap, but not counting him, the hardest and most time-accumulating ending in Security Breach is the most disappointing. Every one of the jokish endings have more in them than it does. In the van ending, Gregory and Freddy escape in a van. Freddy powers down. Gregory figures out how to jump him, and the two take off into the sunset. In the prize corner ending, Freddy sets the place on fire, tackles Vanny off a building, and then we get a reveal of her true identity. Even in the official bad ending, or what would basically be the bad ending, which is just Gregory leaving, even that reveals his state of homelessness, reveals that the Pizzaplex has had other victims, and that Vanny is a constant threat that stretches outside the walls of Freddy's when she follows him out. I think one of the arguments against Gregory being, why did he have to shatter the animatronics? Why didn't he just hide somewhere and leave? And while that is a viable point, apparently Vanny would have just followed him out the door anyway. So there was no real escape from the Pizzaplex, I suppose. Unless he took
the ending where they basically got the robots to rip her to shreds.
Vanny down before he left. But, yeah, I digress. In the true ending, Freddy and Gregory somehow run out of the sinkhole, dozens of feet under the Pizzaplex, on the other side of a one-way elevator, and make it outside to a grassy hill. And then it stops. At this point, I wouldn't be shocked if Ruin revealed that Freddy and Gregory didn't escape and died together in that hole. And this is just the afterlife. This is Fazbear Hills from FNAF
That'd be dark, and I'm all for it.
World. Well, actually, I would be shocked. I don't know if FNAF...
I'm sorry, but FNAF is a dark horror story, and it having a simple happy ending like that, kind of too cliche.
has the cojones to go with that one. But
they need the cojones!
I find it hilarious if, like, this was a major plot point in Ruin, and that Gregory and Freddy have just been living in that sinkhole for the last 10 years since the Pizzaplex collapsed, and that the DLC is just this girl realizing they're down.
Has that been confirmed that the DLC takes place 10 years later? Let me know.
There and calling 911 to get them out. Gregory comes out with a hobo beard and has become even more of a hermit, while Freddy's especially dirty. He comes out looking like Swamp Freddy. So where I was going with this, somewhere off of how Shattered Freddy really was a one-time plot development, and it's a shame we missed out because I definitely think of all the things they could have done with Security Breach to make it feel impactful, it had to be this. One of the biggest things about this Shattered... Okay, this part is entirely off script, so if this sounds a little weird, let me get this out here. Recently, like in the games and in the books, one of the biggest problems with FNAF's plot in recent times has been that all of the big emotional there's no emotional moments. All the big shocks and twists are all kind of like explanatory twists.
They're not fleshed out. I like how she put that right there.
We don't see something happen. We don't feel something happen. We just kind of get it told back to us. And in fact, most of the FNAF emotional moments throughout the years have been told back to us. Pizzeria Simulator's big emotional moment was Henry telling us what was happening, not us seeing it. The only time I can really think of, well, I can think of FNAF 4's ending, but the one time I can think of where we had an actual emotional moment in FNAF that wasn't being explained to us and was being shown to us was the Happiest Day minigame in FNAF 3. This Shattered Freddy segment is so important because this would have been a self-contained plot point that didn't require any explanation outside of this game to have the full weight and emotional impact and horror factor surrounding it. It was a self-contained plot point. It was a self-contained story arc. And sometimes, even in games where the story crosses over for various games, you have to have something like that happen. Because if you don't, there is no story. And that's kind of what happened with Security Breach, was that there was just so much cut that there isn't a story. There's parts of a story, but there's not an impactful story.
True.
The thing is, I've heard people ask about my feelings on Gregory. Not Gregory, GGY. I don't feel like there is any way you could introduce GGY and Evil Gregory into Ruin and not have it feel like an exposition dump, and have it feel like a genuine movement of the plot and not just like something that someone written in. And the reason why is because Security Breach should have built up to that, and the one way you could have done that is by having the Shattered Freddy section in there, and that's gone. This is the one thing you should have had in this game. Why is this gone? A lot of people have problems with Security Breaches, having Freddy be a friend and not being scary. This whole Shattered Freddy segment would have fixed all of that, and it wouldn't have just fixed all of that.
1000% yes.
But suddenly, Freddy being friendly has a greater plot relevance. It's not just Freddy's friendly because Freddy's friendly. Freddy's friendly because this plot starts out as a comedy and ends as a tragedy. But I digress. I kind of went off there a little bit. And it's a shame because I don't see Shattered Freddy ever coming back. I would be shocked if Glamrock Freddy comes back after Ruin, but except for like compilation pieces. So the fact that there was such this well thought out plot point that didn't get to go anywhere, it's a real shame. I hope at
Steel Wool Studios, you fucked up.
least in the games going forward, they try to go with a bold plot point like this again. Because let me tell you something, Shattered Freddy would have blown the burn trap reveal out of the water. But
Technically, I feel like they could have still done Shattered Freddy with Burn Trap. I honestly feel like that would have still worked.
I digress again. Anyway, that's the story of Shattered Freddy. Thank you for watching.
And to be 100%, Burn Trap still has some, like, missing hype and or missing, like, parts that would have made it way better. I reacted to an animation that improved on the ending with Burn Trap. Someone made this whole, like, moment that would be very similar to the original FNAF games. It was an animation, and it was such a good animation too. I remember it so well. It was basically like you were playing FNAF 1, 2, or 3 as Gregory, and you were using the same elements from like 3, like the audio to get Burn Trap to go one place. You had to watch out for the blob. You had to close doors. You had to close vents and all that stuff. You had to hold down the fort till you can burn Trap even more, and then Freddy comes in to get you out of there. And you're kind of stuck in there, and Freddy's behind the door trying to help you, and a bunch of other stuff. It was a fantastic, pretty lengthy animation, and that was such a good way to end it. And I think that would have been another reason to say 1,000 times better for the ending. And this added to that, with that, at this point, I want some type of fan to take Security Breach, reform it, and make a better fucking game. I know people will say it's not going to be canon then, because it's not Scott's thing. I'm sorry. Scott and Steel Wool Studios fucked up on Security Breach. Because these type of things would have been way better. They had some of these concepts, and they trashed them, and it was a stupid fucking move. Alright, let's see what at the end. They talked about something at the end.
Leave him alone!
Gregory, run! Do not look back. Do not watch. Chica, Roxy, Monty, do not listen. Resist her. Please. You do not want to do this.
Disassemble Freddy.
No. Stop. No. Please.
Freddy! No!
Damn. Oh, and this person has done something with the... Okay, this person has done something with the Ruin Ruin DLC stuff. I actually might check that out another day, relatively soon, because I'm interested in seeing how they, since they put this together, how they took the DLC footage and everything. But anyways, let me know what you guys think. I was really busy yesterday, and I did a ton of stuff. So today's video is only one video, which would be this one. I hope you guys enjoyed this one video today. Check out all the videos from yesterday, the live stream, the PlayStation Showcase, all that good stuff that happened yesterday. And stay tuned for more, and also check out my second channel. Check out my Twitch. Follow me everywhere. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, later.